Choosing a commander for a deck usually falls into one of three categories. A strong build-around ability that helps tie down or further propels the deck's entire game plan, using the command zone as a vessel to run what I like to call a secret commander, where all the command zone does is help fetch for it within the 99, or a counterweight that helps smooth out the weaknesses and kinks of a deck. So naturally, why not build something that can be categorized as all three? A commander that the deck is built around that simultaneously acts as a vessel to amplify and further your board state while also rounding out the deck's inherent weaknesses, and is about $100. Imskir Iron-Eater, priced for a whole 6 and a Rakdos with a 5/5 stat line, reads Affinity for Artifacts. On ETB, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of artifacts you control rounded down. And for 3 and a red, you can sacrifice an artifact to have them deal damage equal to the sacrificed artifact CMC to any target. Now, although this is an artifact deck that copes with the absence of blue, the color synonymous with capitalizing on affinity-esque game strategies, we don't necessarily care as much, as Imskir already provides the much-needed card draw for a board committal strategy such as this. Now, my initial instinct was to build around a group slug game plan, where the deck focused on generating a heap of treasures, mainly using Pitiless Plunderer as its engine, accompanied by supporting pieces like Marionette Apprentice and Mayhem Devil to whittle down opponents. This initial draft of the deck was counterintuitive to me, as Imskir wants artifacts to stay on the battlefield as he was being cast, while needing artifacts with big enough mana costs to be flung. Mere Battlesphere, Threefold Thunderhook, and Skitterbeam Battalion are artifact creatures that have high CMCs and create more artifacts on ETB. Fire Extentriniform, Triplicate Titan, and Wormcoil Larva are artifact creatures that have high CMCs and create more artifacts on death. These cards were the perfect pieces to fill in the scarcity of synergy that the deck struggled with, as combining these big beaters with cards like Cranial Ram and Nettlecyst with the Fling package helped in closing out games more efficiently. The deck at this point was already pretty consistent, with its low curve and the addition of low-end artifacts that come into play with an additional artifact token. The deck was able to get an early Imskir out while maintaining early board pressure to pave way for the bigger threats to come. But even then, something just didn't feel right, as playing Imskir felt like casting any other Black Burst draw spell, with a 5/5 body attached to it, as the deck had no way to independently reuse Imskir's ETB. Now you would think that Imskir's high CMC is a liability for the deck's success, as recasting them would require even more commitment to the board, making the deck incredibly susceptible to board wipes or some form of artifact stacks. Morbid Curiosity allows us to draw an additional 8 cards on top of the cards we've already drawn. Vision of Ruin allows for cheap artifact removal, as we maximize the cost reduction on the flashback cost, while Ayara Widow of the Realm allows us to continue to threaten life totals while keeping ours healthy. Lastly, Sacrifice and the Luminor Caesara allows for a quick surge in mana, which could be used to recast Imskir or a big beater. The deck also features an infinite combo in the form of Boommobile, Cogwork Assembler, and Panharmonicon. The combo works by Panharmonicon doubling the mana Boommobile would be making through its ETB from 4 to 8, then spending 7 of that 8 mana on Cogwork Assembler's ability to create a copy of Boommobile, repeating the process and netting 1 mana each time. This infinite mana is then siphoned into the Boommobile's exhaust ability to, well, blast everyone for lethal. The reason why I chose to keep this combo is because each component already by itself makes sense to be in the deck. Boommobile acts as a removal spell while Imskir is on board, as a 4 mana do 4 to any target. Cogwork Assembler acts as a mana sink to copy a big beater or some useful artifact an opponent controls, and Panharmonicon doubles Imskir's draw, effectively letting us draw for each artifact we control. The deck's ability to forego and focus on different game plans as a result of the different game strategies implemented within it allow for a lot of variance in gameplay while continuing to still be efficient, a trait that a lot of Commander players look for when constructing their deck. Now you might be thinking, hey food token, since the deck has group slug pieces, mid power and high power onboard threats, with an infinite combo mashed in there, doesn't that mean that the deck just performs all of these game plans on a mediocre level? Well, it's the opposite really. Since Imskir allows the deck to run a greedier shell, covering the need for a reliable card draw engine, it's able to run just the pieces of these different game plans without the need for their respective card draw synergies. Also, by having all of these different ways to close out and win games, it allows the deck to helm a different game plan that is most suitable for that specific stage of the game. Well, that's it, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed looking over the deck building journey that was Imskir's Boommobile. If you guys want to look into the specific deck list as of right now, you can check it out on Moxfield using the link below. If you have any suggestions for improving the deck, don't be coy on leaving a comment on this video.